Hello everybody, and you're very welcome to this interview, this chat that I'm going to have with Emer, a very special lady. And Emer has a fantastic product that she's literally just after launching, and it's a sleep aid product, and I'm super excited to talk to Emer about this product, and she's going to tell us all about it and how it can help you, and in so many different areas. And we know sleep is vital for life, it really is. And Emer has her own reason for making this product. So Emer, you're very welcome, and thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to me this evening.
Thank you for having me on, Joanne. I really appreciate it.
Brilliant, brilliant. Emer, so Emer, let's start from the beginning. So you're a psychology graduate, and you're from Mayo, from Belmullet in Mayo, over in the west of Ireland. And you've recently, over the beautiful west of the rainy west of Ireland, and you've recently launched a new product. Can you tell us a little bit about your product and where you started, what inspired you to make this product, and how it has helped you personally, as well as how it's going to help other people?
Yeah, sure. So my background, as you say, is in psychology. So I've worked in various care sectors. I've worked with children with autism. In Australia, I work with asylum seekers, refugees, the homeless services as well. And what I always found was mental health difficulties often co-occur with sleep difficulties. You know, even I'm sure you can relate as well. If you've had a bad night's sleep, it's very hard to feel good in yourself and be productive, focus, you know, and we have, you know, incidences of feeling a bit down and things if you haven't had the proper sleep. So the product itself is called Kocoono. It's a weighted blanket essentially that helps people to sleep. And the way it does this is it has weighted pressure over it. So there's individual pockets throughout. It's designed to be about 10% of your body weight, and it's based on a concept called deep touch pressure. So it stimulates your pressure points, helps ground you. You don't have that twisting and turning as much at night time. So
the grounding is the grounding is very important, isn't it? Because we're all so busy in our lives and we're so up in the air. So grounding is very important.
Exactly. And I think, you know, because we're so busy in this day and age, we're like getting all this tension and anxiety manifesting in our bodies. So to kind of alleviate that, you're essentially putting pressure on yourself, similar to the concept of like a hug or a massage. So it's that same, like, you know, stimulation of your pressure points, but we don't always have somebody to hug us or massage us. So that's where Kocoono comes in as a self-soothing tool. Fantastic. And you asked me about, sorry John, you just mentioned about how I came about it. In 2011 I was working with a child with autism. So he used to struggle in school, you know, quite giddy, and really found it difficult to sit down at the desk. So I made him a weighted product. My mum is a dressmaker, so I've grown up being fortunate enough to be able to sew. Wow. So we ordered everything in and made the first product for him in 2011.
Wow, fantastic. So that's how you made him, it was something for his lap, was it, for in school? Yes. I read, that's what you
a little lap pad,
Right, okay. And there's an awful lot of children nowadays, more so than 20 years ago, that have this hyperactivity and other learning disabilities, and it's just becoming more and more prevalent now. So we do need to have these type of products that can help to really ground these and everybody really, because I actually was looking at a documentary there over the last couple of days, and it said that we are becoming so busy that our history is just getting busier and busier and faster and faster and faster. And as we're progressing through life and through time, that has a knock-on effect as well with our mental abilities as well. So there's more and more depression and anxiety. And we know that anxiety is, in my experience, is probably one of the biggest factors when it comes to getting asleep at night time. So I done a poll there a couple of months ago, and it was 56% of the people that done the poll said that anxiety, all the thoughts in their head, was the biggest problem when it came to going to sleep at night time. So your product, your weighted blanket, can actually help with this. So it's helping to calm down the nervous system, which is really important, because obviously the body needs to wind down at night time before we go to sleep. So you mentioned it's like having a hug. And it's really interesting because there's certain chemicals and hormones that's released in the body, like oxytocin. And have you heard of the 10-second hug? I do it with my daughter quite a lot. So it really intensifies the release of oxytocin. So hugs are really, really effective. And the pressure, as you say, as well. So
And we all feel good after a hug as well, you know, so although we know about the chemical side of things, you just do have that feeling when you leave a hug, well, mostly, it's a good one.
Absolutely, yeah.
It was nice, you know.
It's really, and I think your product as well is fantastic. Like you can use it at night time when you're going to bed at night, but you can use it during the day as well if you want to, I presume. Is that how it's designed as well?
Yeah, exactly. So now the Kocoono Blanket, it's 110 centimeters by 195, so it's quite large. But I use it, say, if I come in from a day's work, I work in homeless services, and you know, you're feeling that kind of stressed and hard to switch off from it. Put that on for 5 minutes and it's fantastic. I had a friend who put it on, she meditates an awful lot. She put Kocoono on and she found that she got to the meditative state a lot quicker, you know, having used it. Do you know, so it just brings you to that kind of calm, neutral state.
Yeah, because just go on the go all day long, and even when we're working a 9-to-5 job, an awful lot of people don't tend to take breaks, or they're trying to earn more money working through their lunch break. But it's really important to slow down during the daytime because there's too much on the go all the time, and our bodies were never designed that way. And we do have our circadian rhythm, and we do have peaks and lows during the daytime. So it's really important to take a few minutes out and take your break. And for those people who can't wind down, your weighted blanket would be ideal to help to ground people and activate those pressure points, as you said as well, you know. Can you tell us a little bit more about the pressure points and how it works?
Yeah, so basically, just when you're talking there about at work, we also have like a shoulder hug. So essentially that kind of stimulates, it just comes around your shoulders here, and that will stimulate the pressure points in your shoulders. We often feel tension up here in this area. So we've just created ones that will just literally just ground you there. So the weight that it puts on you, essentially just, again, I'm going back to the massage, that kind of feeling. It really just helps to ground you, relax. Yeah, and I would have done a lot of proprioceptive input is what they call it, with the children I would have worked with. So it was just stimulating their pressure points, and it could be in their head, in their arms, in their legs, you know. And often I would see the children that I worked with, and I would see them looking for sensory feedback from their environment. So they may have been pushing their head into the couch when they're playing on the iPad, pushing up against, craving it. Now we all have sensory needs. We all do. So I think with blankets, we're typically, you know, recognised for children with autism, but they're not the only people that can benefit from them. You know, there's so many.
So who else would use this blanket now? What other people?
Yeah, well, you don't have to identify with anything being wrong or anything to, you know, to benefit from it. I use one myself every night. I can't sleep without it. So specifically, they'd be really good for anyone with anxiety, sleep difficulties, people who feel they twist and turn all night and can't, don't wake up with that quality sleep that they need. People with fibromyalgia as well, they've experienced a lot of pain, so it can really help cocoon them, essentially help, so the name came from. And restless leg syndrome as well, really good for that, and children with autism or anyone with sensory processing disorders.
Right, fantastic. Yeah, and the restless leg, I've seen that quite a lot with people as a disorder, preventing them from sleeping or waking up during the night time. The restless legs, that is a big one as well.
Huge. So the and Alzheimer's as well, actually.
Yeah. So it can, so you can use it for all ages across. Like everybody can basically benefit from this, and especially in this fast-paced world that we're living in at the moment, it can benefit everybody.
Exactly, and we've made the Kocoono Blanket, so it's designed to be 10% of your body weight. So essentially, no, I prefer to go a little bit heavier, but then say if it was a child that was using it, they'd need to get a new one every 2 years. So this is where we're like, okay, there's a problem here. What can we do to solve this? So we have one standard size blanket, and then we have made it customizable, so that you can remove the weights and add them back in. So you literally, so you can remove the weights that the child doesn't need, because obviously their little legs won't reach down the bottom of the blanket, but as they grow, then you're adding the weights and increasing that kind of pressure and stimulation. And what you find is sometimes people become accustomed to the weight. Like when I first started using Kocoono, I had it, you know, on standard on my weight level, we'll say, and now I kind of require a bit more, so I can just add in another weighted strip.
Brilliant, fantastic. Yeah, so it's customizable. And something else as well that I read about your blanket, so it's winter, we're coming into the winter time now at the moment. So and I read that you can take parts of it out and in the summertime when it's very hot at night time, so you can cool it down, and you can use it to help with that. That's a
Yeah.
fantastic idea.
Yeah, and that actually came about from having a conversation with a lady going through the menopause. So she loved pressure and found it really hard to sleep without it.
Mm-hmm.
And what she found was then having hot flushes, she found it difficult to sleep. So she's like, is there any way you can make it cool? And I was like, okay, I'm on it.
That's fantastic.
So yeah. So you literally take them out, take out the weighted panels, put 1 or 2 in the freezer and then reinsert it back into the blanket and it'll keep you cool enough, so you're not up to sleep and as your body temperature drops then when you're in sleep.
Yeah, because the body temperature is very important, the core body temperature to drop to allow the onset of sleep. So that's a really important one. Yeah, so that's another tick on the box. and tell us as well, so you can customize the blanket and you can add in, you can increase the weight, so depending on for a child if they're growing, and obviously they're going to increase their body weight and depending on your preference as well. Tell me about washing the blanket. Is it easy to wash? As I presume it's machine washable. Is it an easy one to do?
Yeah, well, you could, if you had a massive machine, and we often don't have them here, they're quite popular in the States, those really big machines. But what
we have them all around the garages, don't we?
The garages, yeah. You can bring them to the garages, but typically I would remove all the weighted panels.
Yeah.
The blanket will really stand the test of time like that, and you don't need to wash them typically unless there's something spilt. But just remove the weighted panels and then throw the cover in the washing machine like you would normally at 30-degree wash, and then just reinsert them back in. And what we've created is 2 little inserts on each side of the blanket on top, so it's kind of ease of use of getting them in and out.
Fantastic. And tell me, where is the blanket actually made? Where has it been manufactured at the moment? Are you making them all, or where have they been manufactured at the moment?
Yeah, so myself and my mom turned my sister's bedroom into a sewing room, and we did all the prototypes and designing and everything and got stock in to try and make them here in Ireland, but it just wasn't feasible for many reasons. So what we have done is partner with a manufacturer here in Europe. So we've kept it really close to home, so I'm literally just a flight away from them. They're really on board and know exactly what we want. Quality is as good as we made it ourselves, and I think I'm delighted that we actually went through the process of making it ourselves. I know the work that goes into it. Myself, my mother, were up to the very wee hours of the morning. So, and I remember the first one we probably made, it was 12 hours it took us.
Wow.
Because you can imagine you have to evenly distribute the weight into every single pocket. You can't have the top pockets too big because then it won't stimulate it enough. So there's about 160 pockets in each Kocoono.
Wow.
So you can imagine, like dividing out the weights and everything into each one. So it's a lot of work, so it's been challenging to find the right manufacturer, but we found them. And then the materials kind of came about. We literally market research everything, asking everybody. I sent texts out to friends, got people to feel it and everything.
Brilliant.
So we have a nice turquoise colour with a navy blue back, and then a grey and a peach. So both are really popular. Some people like the grey because it's more subtle in your home, but then others love the kind of the blue turquoise peach because it kind of reminds them of sea and calmness and things like that.
And colour is very important now that you mention that actually as well. Yeah, so whatever colour you're drawn to, I suppose. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is on a crowdfunding platform at the moment, isn't it? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I launched on Kickstarter 2 weeks ago today, actually, would you believe? Okay. And basically what that does is it helps us to pre-purchase the materials and then bring them to manufacturer. So, and it also, I suppose, looks at the demand for the product, and obviously we have seen huge demand already because we were successfully funded in 1 week. Now I think today,
that's amazing. That is incredible.
Amazing. Yeah, and the support has been phenomenal. So we're currently at 170% funded.
Wow.
So and we have 2 weeks left.
2 weeks left. So what's the date? What's the end date? Just so everyone know.
Yeah, so it's the 15th of November at 9 a.m. So it's a Friday, yeah, so 9 a.m. So we have early bird offers available at the moment that will be delivered before Christmas, and I really just want everyone who wants it and needs it to get it before Christmas, because I just, I can just see everyone there cuddled up in their cocoonos and, loving life.
What a Christmas present to give everybody, a gift of a good night's sleep.
Yes, the gift of sleep, yeah.
Oh, and that's priceless.
It is. And even with the Kocoono, we have a neck cutout because obviously designed so many over the years, and now we found that it would bunch a lot here with the weight and the pressure, and it really didn't feel nice. So what we've done now is actually cut out the neck piece, so you're still getting the weight up around the shoulders. 2 parts kind of come up around here. So literally it'll take the tension off your shoulders even when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
So that's, I suppose, just another unique factor about it. But on the Kickstarter, it's gone down so well, and that can be found through my website on www.kocoono.com, Kocoono,
Brilliant.
and yeah, available for another 2 weeks.
So 2 weeks only. So we have to get the orders in. We're in the if we want to have it by, so we'll have it before Christmas.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
And we've limited the amount that's available just because the manufacturer can only make so much in such a short period of time. As I say, they are labour intensive.
Okay.
But yeah, we still have some available. So
Fantastic. So everyone needs to get their order in before the 15th of November to have their order before Christmas. So it's available in turquoise and a grey and a peachy colour as well. Isn't that what you said?
yeah,
Fantastic.
that's right. Yeah.
And what better present to give somebody? I mean, the gift of sleep and relaxation and calming down and grounding in this mad, crazy world that we're living. I think your product is absolutely amazing, Emer. Is there anything else that you want to add to your product? Let us know about your product or anything else. What's the future for Kocoono?
Well, the future is big and bright, and I suppose I just start maybe first by just explaining my own journey of using it.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah.
Joanna, you love this because I used to be one of those people that say you sleep long enough when you're dead.
Yeah.
So I could have done with me you a few years ago and put me on the right track. But I honestly, I didn't value sleep at all. I thought it was a waste of time and a waste of life and everything. And it was only when I actually was running myself into the ground. I was doing relief work in the homeless services, and I took on every shift that was going, sleepovers, live nights, where I didn't sleep all night. And I remember nearly collapsing on a bus coming home after a night shift. And I went to a health practitioner. I said, oh, what's wrong with me? I'm not feeling good, and I was sick. I had to take a few days off work. And he just brought me over to the mirror and said, look in your eyes. And he said, you are running on adrenaline. You are putting so much pressure on your heart. You're sleep deprived. You need to sort this out. And it was a real wake-up call because I had to kind of swallow my words, and I was like, oh, maybe I need to value this thing, the sleep thing.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it was huge. And what I realized was I actually didn't like getting into bed because I didn't sleep properly.
Yes.
So I was the person that would twist and turn and have that kind of anxiousness or heightened nervous system in my body, especially when you're working in care services, it can be hard to switch off from it. So I realized I started to look at my own patterns. And when I lived in the Middle East, even though it was very hot, I would always pile clothes, pillows, duvets, anything, towels I could grab my hands on and just pile them up on top of me on the bed. So I realized I needed this pressure myself to be able to sleep. Yeah, so I was like, right, okay. So obviously I went home to my mum and I was like, right, what can we do about this? And we made the first proper Kocoono, I suppose, adult size. And I've been using it ever since. If I'm doing a sleepover shift now, it comes with me. I was in Sweden a few weeks ago and I took out half the weight of panels so I could make it on the Ryanair baggage allowance.
Wow, oh my God, that's challenging.
Yeah, well that's why it's good, it's customizable because I get to get the pressure at the top half of my body, where I need it most. But yeah, so I can't sleep without it. So I'm so passionate about it because I think it's such a simple, natural tool. And, I know a lot of people that I spoke to are on sleep medication. They feel that's their only option. So I just want to provide people a natural solution, that may work for them as well. So we've been in talks with hotels that are interested in offering it to people as an extra experience, and also service providers. So, people working with intellectual disabilities, in psychiatric services as well. It'd be great use for it there because it literally can help people calm down. And I keep telling people, I think it'd be great for arguments and for marriages. If there's an argument going on, just say, look, go cool, calm yourself down now and do your Kocoono, and then come back and we'll talk.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So,
because there's so much adrenaline and cortisol and all of that running through our body, and we're in this state of fight or flight all the time, even low grade stuff, and we were never built to operate from that level, constantly. It's supposed to be up and down. And thousands of years ago, when we'd run away from the line, and then when the line went away, our nervous system would come back into balance. But that's not happening this day and age. So the blanket is helping to calm down that nervous system and activate all these chemicals, the calming chemicals and hormones that are done naturally. I mean, what a so simple and profound way to balance your whole system without the use of medications. I mean, it is just profound. It really is. And you know, how you are during the daytime, I always say to people, is how well you'll sleep at nighttime. So if you're busy, busy all day long during the daytime, it's going to have a massive impact on how you sleep and winding down, because, you know, sleep is not an on-off switch. We do have to wind down, and there's a lot of chemical things in the body that have to happen as a result. So really, so that's why I say, even using that blanket, if anyone takes naps or needs a nap, or even just to meditate or to chill out for a half an hour, it's a very valuable tool to use to help you do that as well. And that will have an impact on how well you sleep at night. And of course, people can show it over them at night time when they're actually going to bed as well. So there's multiple uses. Emer, I think you're an amazing lady, and you're really, really fantastic product, and it's going to change the lives of so many people out there in this busy world, and this is just chaotic, and it's getting busier. It's getting busier with all this technology and how things are progressing and evolving over the years, you know. And I think we really do need to start slowing down. Like yesterday, we just need to really start. We absolutely, it's so vital. 100%. And the sleep obviously is very, very important as well. So Emer, on that note, I just want to thank you. Is there anything else you want to? You gave us your website. So the 15th of November is the cut-off time for everyone to order the blankets. So we need to get that out there. And it's a fantastic Christmas present for everybody. I mean, what a Christmas present to give to people, and you'd be helping Emer, and you'd be helping so many other people. And think of it, if you're giving a present to your loved one, to your husband or your wife or whatever, think of the impact that's going to have on you. So
everyone reaps the benefits.
So think of it in terms of that, you know, and the kids, and everything be so much calmer, you know. So like, I mean,
definitely.
Oh my God,
we have a lot of men buying now, and I'm like, is it for you now, or is it for your partner, you know? Women are reaching out, saying they've asked for and hinted for as Christmas presents.
Yes.
You know, it's not available to buy on the website on Kocoono.com.
Okay.
But if people click on Kocoono, they'll bring you to the Kickstarter. There's a little link there that'll bring you.
Okay, so they'll find out all the information on your website, Kocoono.com, and then
that's Kocoono with a K. People get confused.
And then the link for the Kickstarter, isn't it? Yeah, the link is there where they can order the blanket. So I'm going to order mine, Emer. I'm going to order my blanket, and I want the peach and grey one. That's the one that I'm going to order.
Yes.
So watch out for my order.
Lovely. It feels so nice. And look, thank you so much for having me on and for the work you're doing. I love the message you're spreading, and no doubt changing minds and changing lives with, you know, helping people get better sleep. So
fantastic.
Thank you for
fantastic. And I wish you the very best of luck, Emer, and we'll talk to you in the future and see how the future of Kocoono is getting on. So thank you very much for your time, and I wish you a very good night and pleasant dreams tonight. Thanks, Emer.
Thank you, Jan. Take care.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.